Hey guys, welcome to the presentation. We still have about 5 minutes to go, but I have to read this customary presentation warning message before we start. I've been told that I have to read it. So nothing in this presentation shall constitute a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Trading stocks and options involves risks, and specific financial issues should be addressed with your financial advisor. Past performance is, of course, not any guarantee of future performance, and everything is always supposed to be in a paper or virtual trading account. And I'm not here soliciting or recommending any brokerage firm or product or share stock. Okay. We'll start in about 5 minutes. Let the latecomers still come. Just a brief history of myself. I've been trading for the last 25 years. Used to be in the IT industry for almost 23 years and 21 years with the same company. I've been trading full time for almost 5 years now. And seasonality has always been a big part and reason for my success. I use quite a few tools, but this is one of the best tools I know that's in the market. And that's not my site. I don't get paid any money for this. This is just as a favor. I was doing it for my subscribers, so I said might as well share it with others. So the only benefit I get, to be very honest, is 1 free month per subscriber. That's all. So if I can get 12 people to sign up, I get 1 year free. So it's about $397 a year. So I get $400 a year. So that's all my gain is from this. So it's not for a lot of money. I'm doing this more out of passion. So just so you guys know, I'm not going to become a millionaire from this presentation. Trust me. It's a very cool tool to have, and I've had amazing success. And, I will show you guys, share some examples of my past trades and what is upcoming, and how to enter and exit. I'll talk about that too briefly. So it's not a blind, just because it says buy, that doesn't mean you buy. There has to be a rhyme or a reason to buy. It has to, prove itself. So we'll wait for 2 more minutes and hopefully we'll start at 7:30 sharp. We're going to be talking about this site. It's called Financial. I will talk about it more in detail. It's a third-party software, like I said. It's not my site. I'm a paid subscriber, just like you guys will be, hopefully, or not be, it doesn't bother me either way. But I pay monthly, yearly. I've been a subscriber of theirs for the last 6 years. I was, I think, one of the first 20 members to sign up. So I've been one of the first guys to sign up for this site when this was so brand new. He's introduced a lot of features since I became a member, obviously. And, I think the world out of this site, and I use it a lot, to be honest with you. It constitutes about 10 to 15% of my trading. So, seasonality is just like an iron condor or anything else. It's one more tool in your weapon. Seasonality cannot be the only thing you trade, because it's risky, right? Even though something might have a 90% or 100% probability, it doesn't mean, just because it worked for the last 11 years, this could be the year it does not work, right? So there is always a risk you take. But I will show you how to manage that risk also. So I will not leave you blind. Anyway, let's start at 7:30 p.m. Welcome. My name is Anish Seth, and I'm known by Anya, but my real name is Anish. Like I said, I've been a trader for 25 years almost, and a full-time trader for the last almost 5 years. It's not yet 5. It'll be 5 in February. So, in February, it'll be 5 full years. I was an IT. I was a senior or IT guy for the 23 years of my career, 21 years with the same company. And, I decided to quit and follow my passion of trading, and I love it. I work 14, 15 hours every day, but it's not work at all because it's passionate. I love it. And, you'll have to put a gun to my head to get me away from my computer and my data. I love doing analysis and I love doing research, and my subscribers probably know that and they can vouch for me. I'm ready to answer anytime, day or night. I have a sleep disorder, so God has given me the power to not sleep and still be awake and still be active. So that's a curse. I would not wish that on anybody. But let's start with this seasonality. So this is a site called financehill.com. And, I have a criteria over there. I'm searching for stocks that, I can hold for the next 3 months, for example, 13 weeks. And I want to see a minimum gain of between 10%. So I want at least that stock to have risen 10%. And upside could be anything, right? It could be 50%, 100%, doesn't matter. And I want at least a 70% accuracy rate. So this is the probability. So out of the last 10 years, I want it to be right at least 7 times, right? And over here, you can see this list. You can see a lot of stocks, right? You can see that Enphase is one of them. 5.9 is another one. Avago. Now, you can drill down even further, right? In my advanced filtering criteria, let's look at the Enphase chart first of all and see if it is actionable or not, right? So let's look at Enphase. And is it actionable to enter right now? And I will share this chart as a gift to everybody who attends, so don't worry, okay? This chart is amazing. It's really good and hope you guys use it. But my criteria to enter is I only enter a stock if it's over this red line. Okay. If the stock is not over the red line, then I don't care about seasonality. I do not enter. I will wait. I had given Enphase to my subscribers about 2 months ago. It crossed the red line over here and you buy it over here from $178.42 entry. It went all the way up till my Fibonacci level of 282, which is $110. That's almost a 60% stock return. If the stock goes up 60%, your options will go up 500%. Okay. So that is the secret of my success is I look for the right entry. Just because the stock is showing as an entry, it's seasonally, it has to still prove itself. I ideally wait for the 20-day moving average, the cyan color line. I ideally wait for the 20 to cross the 50 and the stock to be above both, right? I could have bought it over here, but that is not an entry I suggest you do because it's risky, right? This does not guarantee success. I, of course, missed the entry at 144 and you might say, why did I not buy it over here? Because you have to have certain rules of trading. You cannot enter before the stock makes its move. There is a lot of room. There is a lot of juice to be had even after that. So I always wait for the stock, for the cyan line to cross the red line and the stock to be over both, right? Ideally, it should be over the blue red line. Once you enter over here, so say, for example, I entered on, and the beauty about Amat is I will show you how much each option could be had for and how much money you can make, right? So I said for the next 3 months. So just because I said 3 months doesn't mean you hold it for 3 months, okay? If it achieves your target, get the hell out, right? You have made your money, you are out of the trade. But 3 months, just in case it literally does take 3 months to buy. See, most people buy an option with too little time on their hands. And, I always advocate buying as much time as you can afford. So that's why when I say 13 weeks, I mean 13 weeks out option, right? Okay. But you can sell it within a week. You can sell it in 10 days. You don't have to wait for 13 weeks to sell a 13-week option. Okay. People misunderstand that. Just because you have a March option doesn't mean you wait till March to sell. Let me make that clear. So it broke out over here. Enphase was one. It broke out. I bought it over here as soon as it went over the 50-day and I sold it. I already had done my Fibonacci level and that's a different category altogether, but I hope you guys know what Fibonacci is. But I had already calculated my Fibonacci level and this was my first target. So as soon as it reached this target, I already had my stops in place. And of course, I did not get out over here, but I got out over here. I was looking for more. If it went to 307.57, actually, I tried to be a little greedy, but that's okay. I still made money because I waited for this bar to close, the yellow line to close below the blue line. So that's okay. I still got out at $245 from $180. So I still made $80. And I did sell 1/3 of my position over here, but 2/3 of my position I'd left for more gains. But that's besides the point. But I'm just saying that I use this criteria. So I want the stock to be over the 50-day moving average, which is the red line. Okay. And as long as the stock is being supported with the yellow line, you stay in the trade. The first time it touches the blue line, you can add more actually. Okay. So the first time it touched the blue line, it did not work this time, but for a lot of stocks, it does work. Like Avago was another one, right? Avago also, I waited for it to cross the red line. You see, once it crossed the red line, it came back to the blue line. It found support. I was able to double my money from here again, right? I got in over here once it passed the red line, right? I got in around $513. I added more at $555, $560, and I sold it over here. This is beyond all expectations. So I'm already out of the trade. Avago. Now I'll wait for a little pullback. And if it can come back up to the yellow line, because this is a very good stock, you know, see, just to show you guys, and I'm not going to share this chart with you guys, but just to show, I have other criteria too. So I got in over here at my buy zone, and I'm still in half my trade over here because this is another rule that I follow. As long as my stock is over the green line, green zone, in the green zone or above the green zone, I stay in that stock. If it crosses into the yellow zone or the red zone that are danger zone, you know, I'm out. So I just wait for my buy and sell signals. Okay. So let me take this away. That was a chart I had shared with my subscribers during one of my previous trading, but we won't talk about that right now. But so let's go back. So end phase was one of them, right? So end phase, I want to wait till it crosses this red line. Okay. So I will put an alert. Everybody, I hope you guys know how to put an alert. So I can just right click over here and click on alert, create alert. And I want to say, you know, if this stock is over $223, so $222.70, I will just put an alert that's saying buy end phase for March due to seasonality, right? I can write whatever I want. I'm just making it up, but I can just put in an alert. And now I don't have to monitor it daily, right? I could be working full time, or I could be doing something else. Once you set up this alert, it will fire an alert, and then you can decide whether the market is bullish. You know, you got to still consider if the sector is bullish, the market is bullish, and if everything is still valid, then go ahead and buy it for the next 3 months. And end phase you see over here. If you go into this, you can go into the chart and we'll see how does it perform for the next 13 weeks, right? So I drag it down over here for the next 13 weeks. It says end phase has risen by 46% over the next 13 weeks with 100% accuracy over the last 9 years. So end phase is not a new company. It has a 9-year track record, and it has gone up 9 out of the 9 years. And if you wanted to test that, you can come over here and make a monthly chart of this. So let's do 10-year time frame, and we'll go into the daily 10-year. I will create a monthly chart and see if it does that, right? So I will go into this last couple of years. Let's say what happens in December. So what is in December? This is December. It's at $35. By March, what does it do? It's at $65. Again, let's go for December. This is just random, right? This is in December. What is it at December? The low was 121. So let's take an average of 125, 145. What the hell? We'll say it was at 150 when we bought it. In the next 3 months, it went all the way to $200. You see, every December to March, it just keeps on increasing. Again, you're waiting for this to cross the red line. Once it's over the red line, we buy it again. And our next target easy is 278 to 307. So end phase is a stock. I'm just waiting for it to cross. On the daily chart, I want this over the 50 line, right? Once this is over the 50 line, I buy this, and my first target will be 278 to 307. And does the seasonality agree with it? What is the target it's saying? 299. What was my target? I said between 278 to 307. So 299 jives with the Fibonacci level 2. So you can do research multiple ways, but you can see that once Enphase goes over this, and Enphase I just know because I've owned this stock a lot in the last 5-6 years. Enphase today went down because there was a California rule that's coming out that they might phase out subsidies for the electricity that's produced by the solar owners. And that's why the stock went down today. It went down by 6.5%. But, California is a whole different country. They could change their rule again tomorrow and come back. This is still just stocks. They still haven't passed it. So once it crosses the 50-day line, you guys have a clear signal to buy it and wait for this to start to go up to 278. But please, please, please buy a 3-month out call. I know it's not going to be cheap. So buy a vertical, whatever you can afford, right? Buy a 260, 250, 280 vertical or a 240, 260 vertical. If you can afford to spend only $5, buy a $20 wide, $20 wide. But at least give yourself the luxury of time. All right, let's look at some other stocks. So now if you see over here, I've got a list. What did I can filter even further, right? Now I can, if I'm a picky guy, I only want to concentrate on just the buys, right? Like if you see over here, Enphase has a sell rating, right? Because it's below the 50, right? 5.9 is another stock. Again, same thing. It has a sell rating right now because this stock is also below the 50-day, right? So say you don't want to look at any stocks that are below the 50-day or that are sell side. So I could just filter over here, come down over here. I can sell it to only buy stat rating, right? I only want stocks that are optionable. But say you are a stock buyer, you don't want to trade options. You only want, to buy shares. Then you don't care if it's optionable or not. You might choose both. I filter on the price. I only look for stocks that are more than $25, but maybe you want, lower price stocks. Maybe you don't care if it's $10, for example. You can change the filter to $10. Over here, you can filter down. Is it over the 50-day moving average? I only want stocks that are above the 50-day moving average, for example. I can filter on the volume. What is the average volume? I like liquidity in my options. I look for at least 500,000, but you can take away this filter. I look at, is this stock trading above 365-day average volume, or is it trading below it, or I don't care. You can increase the history, right? You might say, I want to look at stocks that have a minimum history of 10 years, for example, if you're a very safe guy. And you can also add this filter, has the EMA 20 crossed above or below the 50-day. And you can also have the option of choosing a sector. You want to only look in technology, fine. You only want to look in finance. You can pick and choose the sectors you want to filter. I'm not filtering on anything right now. I'm going to leave it as it is. Let's see what it brings back, right? Okay, so Avago is still considered a very good stock, even at this price. See, I ignore, anything that like TECL and all, those are, sectors, those are ETFs. I don't want to trade ETFs. SOXL again is, but NXPI, let's look at NXPI. Okay, so is NXPI over the 50-day moving average? Yes, very easily, right? So NXPI is a buy right now, and it pulled back to the 20-day. You see it's still hugging the 20-day moving line. So if you were to buy this, your stop should always be a break below 50, okay? If it breaks the 50-day volume on heavy volume, you are out of the trade. So now you have a clear entry, right? You can enter at $218 with a stop below 211. For example. So you know your entry and exits, right? You already know that you can enter over here, you can buy it over here, and if it is weak and it drops below $211, for example, I'm out, right? I'm out of the trade. So now let's look at NXPI. I already have a position, but I'm not going to show you guys the position. So let's look at April, right? I already have some of these calls, right? You can see I put my money where my mouth is. I bought it today. Okay, so I bought the 220 calls, but say you might not have $2,000 a call to spend, right? I could probably get this for around $18.50, but say you don't have that much money to buy. I suggest you always buy at least 40 deltas. So say I want to buy the 230, 240 vertical. You can spend $3.50 to make $10, right? What is the target on this? If I look at the Avago chart, right? I type in Avago, Broadcom. I'm an Indian guy, so forgive the pronunciations, okay? I've been in America for 33 years, but my pronunciation is still as Indian as I can get. Anyway, so what is the target? It says, look at Avago is still expected to rise about 12% to $719. This is as of yesterday's close, okay? So every day it refreshes in the night at midnight. So, whatever data this is, this price is based off yesterday's close. So this changes, this will change. So assume it goes to 700, okay? Let's say it went to 700 and look at the history. 11 out of the last 12 years, Broadcom or Avago has gone up 11 out of the last 12 years. So probability is around 91%, right? And it goes up by 12.5%. And what is my target? Even if I'm safe and I say, you know what, it might not go up 12%, it only goes up 10%. I have a target of say 700, right? So this is very possible, right? Then this is by when? This is by March 16th. So it doesn't have March calls, right? You always try to give yourself as much time as possible, right? So even though I expect it to go up by March, I got myself one more month just as a luxury of time, right? In case this is the year that it doesn't go up by March, I have one more month so that I'm still not losing. A lot of people, like I said, run out of time before they run out of, the stock could be headed in the right direction, but they do not give themselves enough time. Whenever you buy an option, your number one enemy is time. Time is your number one enemy because, a lot of times we know that this stock is going to go there, but you just run out of time and your option goes to zero. And next week you see, oh shit, it's already up there. You could have made so much money, but you ran out of time because you were trying to become rich overnight, or you did not give yourself enough time. So that's why I bought April calls. We know that it's going to go to, I'm looking at NXP. Let me look at NXPI. Hold on. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong chart. It was like 700 for NXPI, 13 weeks. Okay, so NXPI is, you can see over here the history, right? Whenever I buy a stock, I always want to see, is it going to be a spike up on earnings? I don't want to take a risk of earnings, right? I want to see a steady price up in the probability. You see over here, it's never going down below 50%, 70%, 80%, 80%. So once I buy it, I will not be under a lot of stress in an XPI. Get it? I can easily afford to hold on to this position because based on the seasonality, it's a steady move up and it's not a dramatic move up. Like, there are certain stocks that just have a vertical line. And those are the ones, those are risky. But this is a steady climb up, 1% a week, 2% a week. That is amazing. So you can see that end of March 16th, this stock is expected to go to $270, right? Okay, so let's see. Could I do a trade of 232 for 250? If I did this trade for $6.43, for example, and say the market is selling off tomorrow, I've done my research today and I have a limited order to put in one. I say I'm going to buy this one option of $6 vertical, right? I mean, I usually buy in chunks of 3 and I will give you the reason why. I always buy lots of 3. So I'll buy 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, increasing by 3. And I will tell you why in a second. But could you afford to spend $600 to make $2,000, right? This is a 300% return. I mean, if this stock goes to 270 like expected, this is going to expire fully in the money and your $600 is going to become $2,000. You gain $1,400, which is around 250% return, right? So it's simple. How long did it take me to do this research? I came over here. In 1 minute, I ran my scan. In the second minute, I'm looking at the chart of the stock to make sure it's at 50%. It's over the 50-day, right? I came here. Okay, it's over the 50-day. Is there anything unusual about this? No. If you guys don't know how to use the squeeze indicator, then I've included that in the chart. But learn on YouTube and all. There are a lot of sites. I use the Squeeze. I have another version of Squeeze called the Squeeze Pro, but I cannot share that. But I can share the Squeeze because it's free in Thinkorswim. Okay. The Squeeze Pro version is not free. It's a paid indicator. I have it. I've created my own version too, but I'm not ready to share that for free. But anyway, you can see that there is a squeeze fire. Okay. This red one should become a green dot. Once this red dot becomes a green dot, you can see the last time it fired this squeeze, it went all the way from around $195. It went all the way to $225 before the squeeze lost its momentum. While the squeeze is in firing, you'll see it's a cyan colored bar. 2 dark blue bars in a row means the squeeze is losing momentum and you should be out of the trade. All right. So over here, you see NXPI is setting up very nicely. And I actually just got a position in this one today. I was waiting for a sell-off. I saw a 5% sell-off and I legged into this position today. I just got into a position today and I'm ready to add, right? I will add till the 50-day. If it breaks $211, I'm wrong. And you should not have any shame in admitting you're wrong. Take your loss and get out. Then please don't try to defend it and say, oh no, it'll work. I saw this stock was once at 240, 211. I'm not going to sell or whatever. No, you get out of the trade if on a closing basis. Okay. So on an intraday basis, if it touches over here, it's okay. But on a closing basis, if it drops below this and closes below this, then that's your exit signal. So that's why I'm going to share this chart, right? If it breaks this 50-day chart, I'm out. Makes sense? How hard can this get, right? You are getting a list of stocks to buy. Now, you buy only stocks that you know, right? Like I know Xilinx, I know this KNX, I know LSC, I know Micron, I know Fortinet, right? I know CF Industries, LRCX. You see, there are a lot of stocks, you don't have to buy every stock, right? You have a list of say 30 stocks over here, 25, 30 stocks. You filter it. AMD is one of them, for example, right? You filter it down to 4 or 5 stocks. Even if you can find 2 actionable stocks every month, you can make a living out of this, right? 2 or 3 stocks that go up 20% every 3 months. Holy shit, you're going to be the next Warren Buffett, because that's annualized. It's a lot. See, when you think about it, this is an annual percent return, right? A stock goes up 12% in 3 months. That's an annual rate of 49%. A stock goes up 28% in 3 months. That's the annual rate of 150%. So $100 is becoming $215. You guys see the power of this, right? LAC is another one. Let's look at the LAC chart, right? Let's look at LAC. This is Lithium American Corporations. If Tesla is going to go up, it cannot go up without this stock, right? Right now, it's probably getting sold off by Kathy Wood, but she's going to come back. Okay. So LAC is, if you see this chart, right? LAC has a 50% trajectory, which is what we want minimum. You don't want it going up steadily. You can decide to say, okay, I could probably buy it for even February, right? I'm going to buy April or March, but I can sell it in February because it'll be at $47.90. So is LAC an actionable stock right now? Let's look at that. Let's look at my chart. Let's look at LAC. LAC just is barely at the 50-day moving average today, right? At $30.90 around is the 50-day moving average. Let me look up this chart. Give me 1 second. This one will be better a little bit. Let's look at LAC. So you see that it just broke the 50-day, right? So we want to wait for this to cross around $31. Okay. Once this sucks, I could put an alert over here, right? I could put an alert that says create alert. If LAC is over $31, I want to be on the safe side. So I always add 10 cents to the price. So I say if it buy LAC for March, if LAC is over 31.10, right? Target is 47, right? So could I save a trade over here? I don't want to buy it today, right? But say I want to buy February or May. I want to give myself as much time as possible. And my criteria, my subscribers know, is minimum open interest should be at least 200. And that is not a problem. There is a lot of liquidity, right? And the bid ask should be always less than 10%. You see, it should really be 5 cents or 10 cents, but that you'll get inspired. Over here, as long as the bid and ask is not more than 10%. So you see the bid is 430, 10% of 430 is 43 cents. So it should be less than $44.70. And it is. So you're okay. You could say you buy $135 call when it goes up. Okay, not right now. You can put in over here a limit. You can put in over here. You know, I don't know if you guys know how to put this. I can put in over here a default of saying good till cancel and submit at, and I can say, you know what, only if LSE mark is greater than or equal to, what was the price we set? $31.10, right? So this is a limit order that you have, and this order will not go into production or become a real trade until and unless the stock price goes to $31.10. This can stay and cancel at. Over here, you can go and say, you know what, I'm ready to wait for another week till Christmas time. So I say expire this at cancel at this one. I have a limit order to buy one. I could change it to 3, right? I could change it to 3 and say, buy me three options. And maybe over here, you don't put in a limit price. You can put in, you know, there are a lot of, you can say, you know, you can put in a lot of things, right? You can say last percentage, bid, ask. There are a lot of things. I don't want to go into more details, but you can create, you know, whatever the price is. I don't mind paying 10 cents more than that or 10 cents less than that or whatever at that time, because at that time, the price is going to. So if you wanted to go into a theoretical price, you know, I don't want to dig down further, but say if I change this date to, say by December 31st, the price of this stock, the stock price increases by say $2. Let's increase it by $2, and I want it to be 31.10. So 2. Let's make it 31.10. Okay. So say it went up by $2.33. This will give you the approximate price of what the option will be, right? So the option is right now at 370. It'll be around $4.55 if you buy it when it is the correct time to buy it. Okay, so I can put in a limit order to buy it at 455, right? So I can say over here, you know what? If I can get filled at 450, fine. Now I've made a limit order. Make sense? Everybody, you can type it in or whatever. If anybody, I can unmute you guys later on if you want to ask questions. But do you guys understand how you can, in 5 minutes of research, come up with 2 or 3 straight stock ideas, amazing trades, and you only buy it under certain conditions? I saved it and I can then push this to production, right? I can push this to production, but only condition is as long as the stock is over the 50-day, which it is not right now. Once it crosses over the 50-day, and then there are some other criteria which you can look for the squeeze to fire. Right now, the squeeze has fired short. So I would not buy this right now. So once you do that, then you're looking at a few other conditions, okay, to make sure that, let me delete this. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure that you guys, understand that I use multiple indicators. I look at the volume also. On this day, is the volume more to the upside or to the downside, right? Like on this day, it sold off big. You see, there is no green in this. It was just constant selling. I want to see big guys buying. This is the average line. I want to see volume a little heavy on the day it breaks out over the 50-day. That means big guys are buying, right? People like Warren Buffett and all. You and I can buy 100 shares of this and we are not going to move LSE's price by even a penny, right? You agree? It's the big guys who buy, the big hedge funds and the mutual funds who buy. and they cannot hide themselves because they buy in huge bulk quantity, right? So you want to see the volume follow up. You want to see the squeeze at least fire, right? See the last time it fired the squeeze. You see how this squeeze fired. You could have bought it at $23, right? And you could have stayed in this state. Remember, I told you till it's over the yellow line, the first touch to the blue line you can add, right? So over here, I could have added some more and I could have sold out over here. You are never going to sell the high, okay? I don't believe in that bullshit. People say I sold the highs. Your aim is never to buy the lows or the highs. You are in the middle. You want proof that people are buying and you want proof that people are selling. I don't ever, I'm proud. I am never proud to sell at the top because, I sold over here thinking it's a top and these stocks can go to $80 and $70, right? Tesla, what happened? People thought they made a killing and it just kept on going up. And that happens to a lot of stocks. So I always wait for this moving average indicator. Once this yellow crosses the blue or it's over here, I got out at $35. Maybe I missed $5, maybe you can sell half over here. Then that comes at Fibonacci and all, right? But that you can do your research. But it already would have given your target. LAC would have given your target when you bought it over here that is going to go up to $36, $40, whatever. And once it hits your target, then evaluate and sell it, right? You can make a lot of money. Does this make sense, guys? You can type it in. Let me see. Yellow line is 10-day simple moving average. Yes, yellow is 10-day. So if you guys see in my settings, I'll show you. Oh, give me 1 second. See, yellow line is 10-day simple moving average. The cyan color line is the 20-day simple moving average. And the red line is the 50-day moving average. This is the Ttm Squeeze Indicator. This is a custom volume study where I've included the 50-day moving average. A normal volume doesn't come with all that. So I'm going to give you guys this. And then I'm going to give you guys this indicator, which is, when I talk to you about it, you guys will be amazed that I'm giving it to you for free. But anyway, so you guys see that? Where do you get the custom volume study? I'm going to give it to you free, David. Okay. I've created this on my own. I'm going to share this chart and it's yours for free. You can join or not join. Doesn't matter. I could care less. Like I said, I don't get paid anything. I'll get a month free from every subscriber. I'm being honest. That's about it. So, but it's for your own benefit. And right now, why am I harping on seasonality is that this is the best time, December 20th, which is Monday. Whatever today happened in the market happened. No, it's not Darvas. It's not Darvas, Andres. It's not Darvas. Darvas is something else. But, Darvas you're talking about is an indicator created by Ragi Horner of Simpler Trading. And it's an amazing chart. I use it. That's 834, but that's not the one we are talking about right now. Yeah, but anyway, but you guys, right now, whatever happened today, honestly, nothing to do with the Fed. It's got more to do, a lot to do. I mean, Fed has a little to do, but today was, cod witching shenanigans of the big guys. Today and tomorrow, they're going to kill everybody, the longs and the shorts and everybody, because it's cod witching. This happens once every quarter and they play a lot of games. So, Monday could be a whole different ball game. And I gave you the criteria. If you see this, right? If you see that, if you're supposed to buy this stock, right? I'm supposed to buy NX Xilinx, for example. Let's look at the stock of an NX Xilinx. So let's look at Xilinx track record, for example. I'll go into the 13-week period. Okay. I want to see a steady growth, right? You see, it's already 50% every week. I want a minimum of 50% growth every week steady, right? You have one risky event. So whenever you... So I will talk about Sunny Bar later on, but first, let's talk about this. So you guys see that, once I get into a stock, I don't want stress. Oh man, what did I draw something? Let's look at this. Let me go back. I don't know what tool I got. I'm supposed to be technologically very savvy IT guy, but sometimes I'm stupid. Okay. But anyway, I don't know what I did, but you see Xilinx goes up by 14.5% with an 80% track record. And you see 25 out of 31 years. So Xilinx is not some baby company. It's not Tesla. It doesn't have a 5-year record or a 6-year record. Xilinx has been around for 31 years and 25 out of 31 years. So this includes the housing crash. This includes, the COVID virus. This includes a lot of down years, right? Every year hasn't been an up year. So this includes a lot of these years and still has a track record of 80% over 31 years. So now let's look at the Xilinx chart. I don't know what did I do to get this, but how do I get rid of this blue line? I don't know. Give me 1 second. I don't know how to figure this out. But anyway, so let's look at Xilinx's record. Okay, so Xilinx is right at 50-day support. Okay, wait till Monday. See if it finds support around 199.18. which is your 50-day support, right? So it's right at the 50-day support. But the only bad thing I can tell you about Xilinx is, you see how the squeeze is firing short. So Xilinx is not, okay, then Xilinx, forget it. Good point, Angrez. I forgot about Xilinx. AMD is buying Xilinx, right? Is it? I don't think so, buddy. I'll have to look at that, but Angrez is saying that AMD is buying Xilinx. I am not really sure about that. I don't know, but let's look at Xilinx's chart, because otherwise, if AMD was buying Xilinx, it would not be down 8% today. If somebody is buying a stock company, then, risk arbitrators would not let it go down to 8%. So I don't believe that, but, we can take a look. Okay. AMD is buying Xilinx. Okay, then let's forget Xilinx. Okay, he put a doubt in my mind. I don't know about Xilinx. Let's look at another stock. Let's look at this one. Let's look at Amat. I know Amat is not being bought by anybody, right? So let's look at the 13-week chart for Amat. Okay, so Amat has a chart of 73%, which is still very good. It has a 48-year track record. And over here in seasonality, you can go and dig down further, okay? You can say, you know what? I don't want to look at the last 48 years of history. I only want to look at the last 20 years, 15 years. So I can filter it down even further. I can say, you know what? Give me the last 15 years and then I go on a 31-year history. So the statistics changes, right? It's 68%. I can go down over here and there are a lot of more functionalities, okay? This is nothing. I can go down over here and say, I want the best 13 weeks. So forget about when is the best time to buy Amat, for example. The best time to buy Amat is on December 29th for the next 13 weeks. Average, it goes up by 10%, 75% of the time. Look at this stock, okay? I'm going to give you one of my secret stocks, Netflix. I'm going to give you the best 13-week period. Look at this stock. Every year, you buy this stock every year. Christmas, I buy my 1/3 position day after Christmas. I buy 1/3 position first week of January. And I'm all in January 26th after the first earnings. I'm all in. I'm already in the position. But as soon as the earnings are done, I'm there buying the highs or whatever next day. Netflix has not let me down. All my subscribers can vouch for it. Netflix has made me money every year between January through April. I mean, it's clockwork. It has not gone down a single year. I'll show you this chart. This is unbelievable. Let's look at a chart of Netflix. I'll show you a 10-year monthly chart. This is one of the craziest things you'll ever see. You'll see the stock does absolutely nothing till December. Let's look at just the last 5 years, right? So this is July, August, December, nothing. It's not doing anything. It's going down. December comes around. You buy it in January, February, March. Look at it. January, it's at $265, $260. It shoots up to $354. Again, it does nothing. Again, it comes time for December. You buy it in January, February, March, April. Holy shit, it just went up from $310 to $410 in a heartbeat. Again, same thing. Every year, Netflix and Domino's Pizza. These are the two stocks I buy every Christmas. Every Christmas, I buy 1/3. January, I'll add 1/3 more. And end of January, I'll add another third. And I'm done with my full position. Danish, when you are looking at seasonality, you don't care about news. CNBC is just for fun. I watch CNBC only to laugh and, for fun. I don't watch. If you watch CNBC for anything other than entertainment, then, you should not be trading. If you guys are following anybody on CNBC, then it's a joke. Most of them come with a hidden agenda, and let's not talk about it because I might say something I'll regret. But, everybody has an agenda. People who come on CNBC, there are very, very few genuine people who come on. 90% of them have an hidden agenda. They're all frustrated people who did not get in, so they want the markets down and so that they can buy cheaper. But let's look at Domino's. Same thing of Domino's, right? 2017, 18, 19, whatever. Let's look at this. So this is August, September, October, November, come December, right? So you buy it in January. You buy it around $270. February, March, April. It's at 281. This time it did not do much. Let's go again to December. But it always goes up. December 2019, right? What happened? It's at $290. January, February, March, April. Holy shit, $335. It's up $20, $30, $40. Every time in December, come again December, November, December, this time it went down. But it's got like an amazing record by April. You see, it did not do anything in December, January, February. But if you had held on till April, above the 50-day, it shot up by $50. So Domino's and Netflix, and whoever joins, I will also share a list. I will also share a list of people, stocks that I buy every month. I have a list of stocks. I put it on my calendar that in January, like for example, I told you, in January, I'll buy Domino's and Netflix. In February, I'll buy one other stock or two other stocks. In March, I'll buy one or two other stocks. So I have a calendar of the list of stocks I want to buy who have an amazing track record. And you can do that in this one, right? You can say you like the stock. For example, you like JP Morgan, right? Let's say JP Morgan, what is the best 13-week period to buy? If I went to the best 13-week period, I would say, okay, buy it on December 22, right? Which is coming Monday or Tuesday. Buy it over there. And for the next 13 weeks, on average, it goes up by 9% with a 71% track record. So you can do this for any stock you own, right? Say you own Apple. When is the best time to buy Apple? I remember, I think all my subscribers can point to it, that I'd warned everybody, when iPhone 13 comes around, September is usually the worst time to buy. People were buying it in August and September, thinking that Apple is going to come up with a new iPhone, is going to go up and all that. It never does. Usually August, September, October are the worst periods. It just works like clockwork. Disney has got a track record that's amazing too. But if you join, I'll share it with you guys. But this is the best 13-week period, right? For example. So you buy it on December 29th. So let's say I don't want a 13-week period. I want just a 7-week period, for example. I can change this criteria. So what is the best 7-week period to buy? Between October 5th and November 23rd. And if you see, Apple jumped out in the last month, right? This week, it's seen the high. So for the next 7 weeks or something. So you can choose your own filter. See, if I spend all the time, then we won't have much time. But this is a 76% track record for the next 7 weeks. It goes up by 10%. If I bought it on October 12th and held it till December 14th, I would have gained 10%. And if you see, Apple has gained more than that, right? Okay, so this is for bullish, right? What if you're a bearish guy? You say, you know what? I hate my life. I hate this market. I think stock market is rigged. I only want to buy puts. I only want to short the market. Okay, seasonality can work for that too. Over here, I've got another filter. I want to see stocks that have gone down by at least 5% over the next 7 weeks. And in this case, you want as little accuracy as possible, because that means that, it's got more probability of failing, right? So 90% accuracy rate or whatever, you can choose that. So over here, there is JDST, that's gold, but you don't want to trust that. So let's look at this stock, Restoration Hardware. Restoration Hardware over the next 7 weeks drops by an average of 8%. So let's look at the chart of Restoration Hardware. I'm looking at only the next 7 weeks, right? So Restoration Hardware just before earnings drops by an average of 5.66%, almost 8%, right? So if you wanted to find a short, if you wanted to find a stock that you want to short, Angrez, I will answer your questions later on. I don't, I don't have Season X, but I'm not here to compare. If you're not interested, then that's okay. I'm not here to market it. So that's a very wrong word anyway. So, but I'm not here to sell. So if you don't want it, then you don't have to buy it, buddy. But it's by 8% drop to 22, so you could buy a Restoration Hardware short, right? Let's look at Restoration Hardware's chart. So Restoration Hardware hasn't still broken the rule, right? So they are saying that it could easily touch this 50-day moving average. And if you see the daily, this is the monthly chart. I want to look at the daily chart. Okay, Restoration Hardware has broken the 50-day moving average and is headed down. And if you see the squeeze, it just fired short today. So it just fired a daily short today. So this stock could easily go down to 520 or something. That's what they're saying. So if you wanted to buy a put trade, for February, you could buy a February put vertical, right? So let's do this. I want some liquidity. See, in Restoration Hardware, there is no liquidity. I would not do this trade. As much as I would like to short Restoration Hardware, I would not do it this because this does not meet my criteria of at least 200 in open interest, right? I don't want to do this because I don't have this criteria. But you can see that this does have a filter for seasonality for negative stocks. That's all I wanted to show you guys is there are, let's say VMW, I don't know, this right now, I don't see any stocks. This FAS is financials. GoPro is a $10.84 stock. Let's see. GoPro could be cheap. When you don't see liquidity, it's safe to avoid it, to be honest with you, because, market makers will kill you an entry and exit. If there is no liquidity and you're wrong, they will squeeze you. There are 1,000 stocks in the industry. Why do you want to chase a stock which has no liquidity, man? Leave it to the professionals. I don't trade in anything less than 200 in open interest because I don't want to be the one killed, to be honest with you. So let's look at GoPro and buy something in February. So GoPro open interest is 0 for a February, nothing. Oh, March has a lot. So let's say $11 puts. There is a lot of liquidity. So I could say, okay, let's buy the $11. Why is the bid and ask so spread? You see that? They're killing you in this. So it's not worth it. $28, 28 cents bid, and you can drive 23 Teslas between the bid and the ask, right? I would not trade such a kind of stock, right? It's not worth it. I might just sell a call spread. So I might just do this. I might just sell a $11, $13 call spread for 80 cents credit and leave it at that because that's okay. I would sell a call spread. I would not buy a put spread in a stock like GoPro, which is expected to go down. I might do this. But I need liquidity, but that's a all different ball game. Let's look at that. So, and then within this, there are other kinds of criteria too. You can also do covered call options, okay? So if there are people who are interested in selling covered calls, they have a whole filter system to work into covered calls. What stocks do I buy? If I want to generate a monthly income of this, for example, There's a lot of criteria. So that is another feature that I'm not talking about right now because I wanted to only address seasonality, but you can use this also to generate covered call strategy. Let's talk about one other thing that I was doing. Give me 1 second. Oh yeah, you can go into the screen, you can go into stock score, and you can say, okay, I want to see all the stocks that have a stock rating between 75 and 100. And this is a proprietary indicator. I don't know how these guys calculated, but these are strong, very strong stocks, basically, that have a very high stock score rating, right? So anything over 70 is very bullish, right? So if you want to filter down on strong stocks and that says, you know what, these stocks have a stocks rating between 70 and 100, and within the last 30 days, the rating has changed, right? So maybe it was a sell before. In the last 30 days, the rating has changed. And ever since the rating has stuck, it hasn't gone up by much. So maybe you want to filter it down between 5 and say 10%. That stock has only gone up 10%. So not a lot of people know it, right? So you might want to find, you can go into advanced filtering and say, you know what, I want only stocks that are above $15, for example. I only want a stock which has 400,000 in 500,000 in volume, right? So I can find Baxter, Costco, Cirrus Logic. You know, you can see there are a lot of stocks that you know that have had the rating change, but ever since they became strong, no matter what, because of the market at all. See, Tandem is a stock I got from this filter. If you see the chart of Tandem Diabetes, and I know this because I have diabetes and I love this company, but this stock was a crazy winner, right? Not a lot of people have even heard of this stock. You see what this stock did? Ever since I bought it over here at 123, it went up $20. I actually sold out at my 127. Anybody who knows FIB knows that 127.2, you better take out your cost, right? So if I got in over here, 127.2 FIB level, this is another FIB level I learned from a guy at Simpler Trading called Henry Gamble. He taught me how to use the 141.4. It's not really a FIB level, but you know, I liked it and I have adapted it to my style. And the 161.8 is the normal one. So say my target was this, but I'm taking profits along the way. And that is where I told you I buy in chunks of 3, right? So if say I buy 3 options, the first one I will sell when the option goes up between 30 to 50%. The second one when it doubles. So now my cost is free. And the third one, I leave it till it breaks this blue line, the yellow line or the blue line, whatever I decide, right? If it's a very strong stock, I will hold till the yellow line. And if it's a medium stock, then I might hold till the blue line. But once it breaks the cyan line, I'm out of this trade. So in Tandem Diabetics, I'm still in this trade. It hasn't still violated any of my rules yet, right? And if you see this, the daily squeeze has just fired. People who know, I think I know Candy knows what the squeeze is. And you know, people who use this Ttm Squeeze Indicator will love it. They vouch for it. And you know, I'm a big fan of the squeeze indicator and I use it all the time. And this squeeze has only fired yet, only 2 bars into it, really. You know, an average squeeze lasts for 10 to 12 bars, you know. So until it gives me the signal, I'm not going to get out. A 1% down move doesn't bother me, right? I might add, actually. If I get a chance, then this cyan line catches up, I might add some more to, you know, to this one. But anyway, I'm just showing you the power of this seasonality tool, that it's not only used for seasonality. There are at least 4 different criteria. And plus it's got a new one now. You know, you can check out the big guys' money. Where are the big guys going? Let me see how it goes. Let me see, watch this. Hold on, I stock ideas. Where is the valuation? You can go into newsletters. There is something over here. Watch this. Screen. I don't know how. I don't know how to get to that, to be honest with you. I don't use it much, but he has introduced a feature where you can track the whys of Warren Buffett and all the big guys. Okay. If I remember, I don't use that feature, so I don't use it. I only use certain things, so I don't use that feature that much. But I know that Ron was talking about this feature. But anyway, what is the blue line? I told you guys this blue line. Oh, this blue line, this cyan colored line, right? Khan? The blue line is the 20-day moving average. I will give you guys this chart. So the yellow line is the 10-day. If you see this over here, yellow is the 10-day moving average. The cyan color line is the 20-day, and the red line is the 50-day. A break below this, you are out of the trade. And you only want to enter the trade if it is over the blue line, if you're long, right? So if you're long, you wait till it enter if it is over the red line, right? So I could have been in this trade for the longest time. And once you get a good stock and it has not violated any sell conditions, then all I do is please use the right arrow next to newsletters, which is smart money. Okay, I don't use it much, but let me see. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. The fib levels is different, man. Bhavesh, we are not talking about that right now. But here it is. Okay. I knew there was a way. I just don't do it. I have other ways to follow the big money. I am a subscriber to Market Smith, which is investors. That's a $200 software I pay per month subscription. So I use that. So I don't use this. But this is showing you all of Warren Buffett's holdings. This is showing you all of Carl Icahn's holdings. So this is a very valuable tool. So anyway, this is what. So anything else? So you can screen by seasonality. You can screen by sectors. By the strength of this. What kind of rating it is, right? You can screen by the best period. So you can say, you know what? I want to give the stocks after 2 weeks. I want to buy stocks only in January. I don't want to buy stocks right now. Once I come in January, I want to buy for the next 13 weeks or the next 11 weeks, for example. It'll give you the stocks that rise at least 10% from January through, whatever. So there are a lot of periods to do, a lot of ways to do it. Once you become a member, I will go through the more details. And, I will ask Ron to send anybody who signs up a lot of helpful videos. And he's got a lot of helpful videos on this site. If you go over here, he's got a lot of helpful videos to do that. Okay. So you will see that he's got a lot of helpful videos. And if anybody has any problems or questions, reach out to me. And if I cannot answer it, I can have him, help you directly or whatever. Okay. Yeah. How much is okay. So if you want to see the cost right now, if you went around originally, right? If I created a new private window, for example, and I go to financehill.com, his regular rate, if I'm not a member, right? Pricing, his regular rate is $397 for 6 months. Okay. And 97 per quarter. So this is just a newsletter. If you want everything, everything is around $397 for 6 months. So I've got a special deal. And this is only his special rate, right? So right now, his special rate is $397 for 6 months. I can get you guys in for $397 for the full year. And if you signed up for 2 years, the second year is at $297. But that's only if you want to commit for the 2 years. I don't, I always do, but that's up to you guys. So there are only 50 spots available. So, first come first. Okay. This link is going to expire by the end of this year. So, I already got him to renew this link one more time because he's already increased the rate. But this was his Thanksgiving Black Friday special rate. And, I was able to convince him to give you guys this rate, So I will share this link with you guys. It's financehill.com. Let me give you guys the link. Second. I've copied it somewhere. Where did I copy it? Ah, yeah. Let me share it with everybody. So if anybody wants to sign up, yeah. See, you guys asked me a good question. Okay. You don't have to necessarily screen for 13 weeks, right? So let's say I'm going to cancel out of everything else. I'm going to keep only one screen and this trial screen. So let's say I don't want to, I'm not the patient guy. I don't want to wait for the next 13 weeks. It's too long, man. I only want to see for the next 6 weeks till February, right? I can change my screen to 6 weeks. There is nothing holding you back. This number of years minimum, if you're an aggressive guy, keep 5 years, because this will incorporate a lot of the new stocks, right? For example, a lot of Teslas and all might not have a 10-year track record, right? Some of the companies might only have a 5-year track record. So if you're an aggressive trader, you want 5 years of history. You want to see stocks with only 75% accuracy rate. So these are the stocks which go up in the next 6 weeks. So let's look at the chart for LSE. That was a stock we saw already, right? So in the next 6 weeks. So this is by January 26th. So let's try it next 5 weeks. So January 21st expiration. Let's change it to 5 weeks. And let's change this to 70%. And let's PTCT. Usually I don't like 10% is too aggressive in the next 5 weeks. So let's look at Max Logic. I know that is a good stock. Let's look at CF. Let's look at by historical person. I don't know what FLGT is. I have not heard of it. FLGT in the next 5 weeks. So it'll give you stocks you've never heard of. Then you can investigate it. It goes up by 30%, 5 out of the last 5 years. Oh my God. Wow. Let's look at FLGT. Let's see if it's got liquidity and it's got this. So is it above the 50-day? Yes. Is the squeeze firing? Not yet, but it is stepping up, right? So it is above the 50 days. So you checked it. Now let's look at the volume and the open interest, right? So I want to buy February calls. You'll be trading with your own self, right? There is no volume in this. So, this might be a good choice for those who want to buy only stock, right? This is the non-option trade. Let's look at another one. But you can filter in on all. I usually minimum I want to hold is 9 weeks, okay? Which ones are these? I gave you guys a list, man. Enphase, but those are both under sell. So I gave you Enphase. I gave you guys both the stocks, man. Let me show you. Let me run the seasonality again for 13 weeks. I think I changed the criteria to both. And minimum 5 years history instead of that 7 years. 7 years. Change this to 450. Let me go to advanced filtering. All stocks. These were the two stocks, 5.9 and Enphase, Sunny, but only on the condition that they are above the 50-day moving average, right? They have a 100% track record, but doesn't mean you go and buy it tomorrow. You wait till this is over the 50-day before you enter. Make sense? Okay, guys, just because the stock have a 100% track record, right now the stock rating is sell. That means they are below the 50-day. So don't go ahead and buy it till both of them or either of them are above the 50-day. Okay, Avago is a buy right now. DQ is a stock that's a buy, but it's a Chinese company, so I would never touch it. There is another stock JD is another company that's Chinese. I don't like it. Max Linear is another one that I like a lot. Let's look at MXL. And then, once you buy Avago, then don't buy Max Linear because they're both in the same semi industry. Okay. So you don't want to put all your money in one sector basket, please. So Max Linear Technology Incorporated has enough. So I want to buy March. Let's say if MXLL, it doesn't have any liquidity. So I would avoid this. Man, if I can get 1 or 2 stocks. See, your aim is not to find 20 stocks to trade, okay? Please, just because this came back with a list of 15 stocks or 20 stocks, your aim is to every month come up with 2 or 3 stocks to trade. That's all. If you can find 2 or 3 trade stocks a month to trade, you are going to make enough money to pay for the subscription 20 times over in a month. I don't know if any of you guys are member. Please, if you are a member and you've signed up lately, let everybody else know. I don't have a trial. I'm not selling you the site, dude. Please remember that. I don't get a penny from this. I will get a month free from this. All right. That's all I'm going to get. I'm doing you guys a favor. I don't have a trial or anything like that. This guy doesn't do trials and all that. This is the link if you want to sign up. And, if you don't want to sign up, it will not hurt my sentiment even one bit, honestly. But there is no trial. This is the best I could get for you guys. And, I'm a paid member. I pay them every year. I swear to God, Oh, not for this site. No, I don't have a trial for you on my site. I believe that if you cannot afford to spend 1 month and dedicate 1 month to us, then we don't need you. Because if you cannot dedicate 1 month of your time to us, then why should we give you 1 week? Really, trials and all are so much nonsense, because that's no dedication on the part of the guy who's taking the trial or the guy who's giving the trial. There is really no 1 month of paid subscription. We are not tying it to a year. Like, this site is at least a yearly subscription. My subscription that I'm talking about, Mr. Toptic, you don't have to be a yearly subscriber. You can just be a month. If you don't like it, too bad. That's okay. You can get out, right? So, and I'm very active in my site, so if anybody's a member of this site, please let others know if you guys like me or not. That's up to the subscribers, not up to me, right? I will always say I'm the best thing since sliced bread, but that's obviously bullshit. But I gave you guys this site link, right? If you want to sign up, I'll do a special presentation on how I use it, because how I use the financial competition site, because I've been using it for 6 years, I've customized a few of the things, right? So I will show you some of my secrets and all. This is a very generic way of using it. But obviously, once you use it for a certain period of time, you find certain secrets, you find certain ways, that certain criteria, if you tweak a little bit, it works better, it doesn't work better. So, so that I will do that presentation this Sunday. So anyway, guys, it's about 8:40. I haven't eaten dinner. It's about 1 hour. We went 10 minutes over it. Any questions regarding this? Any other questions before I hang up? Everybody has the link to the site, right? It is just finance, once again, it is this. And I'm not selling it, please. So, if any of you guys under the misconception that I'm selling this or I'm pimping this or whatever, then, you guys are very wrong. And I cannot, I'm so sorry if you guys feel that way. If you sign up or not, it will not hurt me. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Have a nice weekend, and we'll see. And I did a futures trade. I'm up $42. So my aim is to make $100. So we'll see if I can make $100. While I was talking, I actually missed the sell sign. I could have made around $200, but I did not. I was not paying attention, but I will still hang on to this trade and see if I can make a $200. I like to pay myself. If I ever have a meeting or while I'm doing my research or anything like that, I like to pay myself at least $100 an hour. So I use my futures trading or whatever, and I'll go long or short. I don't care. Yeah, I will share the chart. Oh, thank you for reminding me. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Let me share this chart. Share. Here, everybody. Not with iPad, with everyone in meeting. Here is the chart. Please enjoy. It's only to be used with the Think or Swim platform. You got one of my custom volume studies. You got, this is all free indicators. I have, the 10, 20, 50. But of course, this one. Oh shit, I forgot to talk to you guys about this one. Give me 5 minutes, okay, guys? Sorry. Give me 5 more minutes. Hold on. I forgot to talk about the expected move and how to use it. Okay. So the expected move, Avago, this gray line over here is what the stock closed at last Friday. The above green line over here, that's the higher edge of the expected move. The red line over here is the below range for the stock, for this week, right? How do I get this? This is automatically drawn and is based off this. You see this every Friday, you get a weekly expected move. So right now it's Thursday, of course, but tomorrow Avago is supposed to go up or down by $12. But this line is as of the Friday. This does not adjust automatically every day. But this is amazing because if you buy it over here, you already know by the end of this week, this is your higher edge and this is your lower edge of the expected move. So you can price options accordingly, right? You know that maybe you want to sell an iron condor above this. So maybe you would have sold a 645, 650 call vertical, and you would have also sold a 615, 610 put vertical and collect money on both sides. Make sense? So that's how you guys use the expected move. You'd see a big product like SPX, right? Look at this SPX. It's a $4,600 product. And it gave the bottom line. You see how it went past the bottom line, but it closed above it. It went past it, it closed above it. And it's done nothing actually this week, really. If you think about it, it is only down 20 points from where it was last Friday. Last Friday, it was around 4715, and it's about 30 points down. But this was supposed to move 70 points or 80 points or 90 points due to the Fed and all. But in reality, it's not done much, right? And you'll see that, this SPX line, this expected move is great because 70% of the time, a stock will stay between its expected range, okay? Very rarely will it go out of this range. Like last week, it went above the range. But 70% to 80% of the time, it will stay between the range, okay? This stock will stay between green and red, green and red, green and red. Only last week did it break above it. But if you're a seller of premium or something, you can study more about this expected move. I forgot about this, but I was going to talk more, but it's already 1 hour, 15 minutes. But expected move is automatically derived. And I showed you how I derive it. It's automatically derived from your Think or Swim indicator. So this $25. So say, for example, let's go back to analyze. There is a way to go back into a date, and let's go back to think back, and let's go back to SPX. If you see SPX, if I go back to last Friday, what was last Friday? 10th, right? So if you see last Friday's expected move for this week was $76, right? You see how it was expected to move around $76 up or down. And what did it close at? 47.12, right? If you see this chart, SPX is 47.12 and it's expected to go up by $70 up or down. Makes sense? So this is the upper edge of the expected move. This is the lower edge. And I don't dream up these numbers. It comes from this. It comes from the expected move over here. Okay, guys? Custom volume study is not showing up on your chart. Anybody else facing this problem? Oh, did I not share this? Hold on, I did not share this. Give me 1 second, okay? I did not share the chart with the custom volume. Give me 1 second, sorry. Oh, it is there. Oh, SPX. Let me see the symbol, Apple. Okay, it should. I did share it. Anybody else having the problem of custom volume not showing up? Because it should show up. If you go into your settings and studies, do you see a custom volume study? Oh, okay. Okay. Everybody works. Yeah. So, oh, SPX doesn't have volume. Yeah, SPX does not have volume. I also looked at it and I forgot for a second that SPX does not have any volume. Okay. While I was talking to you guys, I did make my criteria of $100. So, I'm going to be teaching a futures class, but my aim is to always in that 1 hour to make at least $100. Now I will put a stop and go to sleep. And if it goes higher, then maybe God destined it for me. And if it doesn't, then I will have $100 while talking to you guys. So I'm okay. But yeah, your squeeze should work. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Take care. And I will share the recording just in case you guys want to see it again, or if anybody else wants to see it. Thank you so much for your time and good night. And, happy Merry Christmas and happy holidays. Take care, guys.